Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing fine. So today we are going to be seeing my September TBR. So without further delay, let's get started. Okay guys, for planning my September TBR, I had some pending reads from the month of August. So I have added all those to my September TBR as well. In that, I have completed one book, which is The Hate You Give. If you want to read the complete review, please go and read it in my Instagram page. I'll be linking the Instagram page link on my description box, so don't forget to follow me there. Okay, apart from my pending reads of August month, I'm going to be talking about the September TBR first and then moving to the two pending reads. For September, I have planned like 5 to 6, and also I'm participating in the readathon called Fresh Off My Shelf Readathon, which is an Instagram readathon posted by Melodramatic Bookworm. She's a booktuber as well as Instagrammer, and I really like her recommendations, so I'm following the readathon because I could read 5 to 6 books. So the first book I'm going to be reading this month is The Henna Artist. So Henna Artist is a story of a henna artist called Lakshmi who runs away from her husband, and she deserts her parents and she comes to Jaipur, and she is the henna artist for the elites who are living in Jaipur. But after some years, she comes to know that she has a 13-year-old sister who comes in search of her with her husband. So once Radha comes into the picture, everything changes in Lakshmi's life, and there are so many twists and turns in the story. I don't want to give any spoilers for this beautiful book. It's written by Alka Doshi. I have the book right now. As you can see, I'm reading the third part of this book, and it's a perfect book for any woman. And I think I've been reading a lot of women authors lately. It is a coincidence, so I'm very happy about that as well. So moving on to my next book for the September TBR is Ikigai. So I have planned like fiction and a non-fiction book. So I want to mix fiction and non-fiction books this month because I think for July and August I was reading a lot of fiction books. So I want to cover up the non-fiction stack in my bookshelf also. So Ikigai is basically the Japanese secret for a happy life and running through your passion and everything. So I have heard a whole lot of good reviews about Ikigai, and if you are a person who wants to run behind your passion, I think you have to read this book, and that's what many people has told me and I've read about. So quite excited to read about Ikigai, and once I've read it, I'll be posting a review on my Instagram page. So if you're not following me there, please do follow. Third book which I'm going to be reading for the readathon as well as the September TBR is Hunted by the Sky. So this is a young adult fantasy, and this book was full of bookstagram in the month of June, July and August. So this was the most talked book in the last 3 months, I would say, and I really liked the cover of the book, and there were so many recreations of the cover in Instagram which I really liked. So that's why I picked this book, and I wanted to read it for the readathon, and it had a very good prompt which could match my book, so I finally picked it up. Next book is also for the readathon. It's called I Am Malala. So I have read and heard a lot of small articles about Malala, but I always wanted to read about her life, so I'm very excited to read it through this memoir. And I'm quite excited because I like to read about women empowerment, and this book I think is one of the best book because it starts from the girls section itself. So I really like it, and I really want to know about her family and her life and what she has gone through. The next book I want to read in the month of September is Shopaholic Baby. So once I bought this book, then only I realized that it's part of a series. But I think the stories are irrespective. They don't have any connection between the books. I hope so. So I think this is the fourth part in the series, and I think I have to buy the other books as well. But I bought one book which I think the second part or first part, I'm not sure. It's called The Shopaholic Abroad, and I've heard a lot of good things about this author because if you want a very fun, very relaxing read, then you can go for this book. This is what I've heard from many of the booktubers and bookstagrammers. I think I chose a very good book for a very relaxing read. Okay, the next book which I am specifying right now is a review book. So I have completed that book and I really like the book. It's a love story. It's called as I Will Wait For You Till the Eternity. I think it's a very good title. It's a very easy, very simple language book. I think it's a short book as well, so you can complete it in about 1 or 2 sittings. So this book is about a guy called Amir who has missed his girlfriend during riots happening in Lucknow, and now he resides in Delhi. So he tries to find out her for the past 3 years, but he's unable to find out her. And also he lost his father during this same incident, so he's kind of depressed and is always alone. So his mother tries to him to come back to normal life and live a normal life, get married and all such things, but he doesn't accept that and he still goes on. And then one day his friend tries to console him, and he tries to get him to a psychologist appointment, and finally the psychologist falls for him. She's a named girl, Samaira, who falls for Amir. And then Amir gets a chance to go to Shimla for an office tour, and there he finds some details about his girlfriend. So the story is very good, and I think you will love the climax of the story. The next book is a non-fiction book. It's also a review book, so review copy. So the book's name is Wondering About Indian International Ethics. I really didn't like this book so much because there's a lot of confusion in this book, but the points were all good. It's all very practical, and I think we should accept the points. That's what I liked about the book. But I think this book is a very easy read as well. It's around 50 to 60 pages only, so I think you can read this book in 1 or 2 hours. And the next book which I'm reading currently is Clothes Don't Make the Man. I think this is also about it's a self-help and non-fiction book, and it's about the men, the opposite sex. So I think I'll learn a lot of things about men which I don't know. So I'm very excited about this book as well. It's written by Rakhi Kapoor, and this is also a review copy, and it's a Kindle edition if you want. I think it's available on Kindle Unlimited, so please go and check that out. And now talking about the pending 2 books from the August TBR. The first book is The Stationery Shop of Tehren, and the second book is FisherQueen Dynasty by Kavita Kane. So I'm really liking both of the books, and The Stationery Shop of Tehren was always on my wait list, and I never get a fulfilled or a Flipkart assured books, so I don't buy it. So once I got this book in Kindle version for 19 rupees, and I really picked it up and quickly picked it up. So I really like the story. It's also a love story. It's about a teenage love story. So it's very exciting, and I'm looking forward to some separation and some longing of love, because I think that will make the story even more interesting and curious to read. And the next book, which is the FisherQueen Dynasty, it is about Kali. And if you have known about Kavita Kane, I think then you will really like this book, because she writes about the female characters of the epics like Mahabharata and Ramayana. So I'm really liking her writing so much, so I really love this book. And I think in this book I finished around 10-15 chapters, I guess. I'm not sure. So I'm reading these 2 books in the night. I shift between these 2 books in the night. So as these are Kindle versions. So that's about the 2 books from the August TBR. So those were all of my books which I selected for the September TBR. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I'll be meeting you all in my next one. Till then, take care and stay tuned. Bye bye.